Good morning everyone. For all those watching from home and from workplaces, I hope you're having a good time and I hope you've had a great start to the new year as well. My name is Amna Osman. I am primarily trained in media practice and currently working for an Australian project as the communications officer. I am also one of the WOW grantees and my project is called Sometimes I Want To. This is a two-part advocacy and awareness project focusing on gender roles. Now, gender roles in society are basically how you're expected to conduct yourself, how you're expected to dress, how you're expected to act, and in daily lives. And most people don't realize up until very late that these roles are basically just an act. This project consists of an Instagram influencer campaign and a photography competition. The influencer campaign attempts to encourage and inspire people to talk about their interactions with the rigidity of gender roles. And the idea behind the photography competition is to enable behavior change through a creative process. Now, behavior change is a very complex process. It requires people to forget their current habits while simultaneously fostering new and sometimes unfamiliar habits. In terms of gender roles, this is a particularly unique set of actions, especially because, at least in the case of Pakistan, these are stubbornly embedded within the religious and cultural notions. And people usually curtail cross-gender behavior because of the fear of possible backlash that is usually directed towards atypical men and atypical women. My project has tried to address this through a creative process. A creative process is basically a formation of a final product through a progression of thoughts and ideas. And because it involves critical thinking and problem-solving skills, I believe this is the fastest route to behavior change. So the photography competition required participants to bring photo essays of individuals who have possibly not been able to do something because of their gender role. And they were also required to fill in a survey by writing whatever they could understand from the term gender roles, and a majority of them were not able to fill it. Following this, I conducted 3 workshops which were meant to give them an orientation to the topic, which is gender roles. Towards the end of these series of workshops, at least 5 participants decided to do a self-portrait about their struggles with gender roles. A couple of which stood out for me was of a young girl who does not want to follow the feminine role at all. In fact, she owns a bike, has short hair, prefers to smoke on the roadside, and so on. She is regularly approached by strangers asking her about her conduct because apparently she stands out and people know of her. Another one is of a man in his late 20s who seemingly follows the masculine role perfectly. But in his story, he identified that he wants to pursue a career in cosplay and is afraid of how he would be able to make a living out of himself from a possibly inconsistent income pattern. In my experience in the development sector, I have discovered that when it comes to behavior change, especially in the case of Pakistan, there are a lot of gaps. And the biggest one comes from class structures. My project has tried to address audiences on either side of the gap instead of bridging the gap. The results up till now have been promising. And I would like to take this forward. I would like to bring this to a larger audience within a bigger campaign in the future.